Hello there, my name is Michael and welcome back to Daggerfall Unity. I've done a few things off camera since my last video, giving a little introduction to the beauty that is the Unity version of this classic game. I have just been exploring some random dungeons, doing a couple little side quests for the Mages Guild, and actually managed to find myself a mithril cuirass, and it's sort of like dark blue and black, and it just looks so awesomely cool. I also found a mithril helm, which looks also epically cool with this weird face mask, and with the cloak covering it, my red eyes, I just look amazingly badass. I think I look like Jason a little bit from Friday the 13th. I'm still using my Daedric Dai Katana, and I'm just exploring this random dungeon that I found, the Lair of Gondin, just to try to. What I'm actually trying to do is get my destruction skill up. My destruction skill is 51%, but as I mentioned in the previous video, I completely gimped my spell points, so I only have 40 now, and my max that I could get is 50, tragically. So I've just been trying to get my destruction skill as high as possible in order to mitigate the casting cost of the various destruction spells I have. Unfortunately, even some of the weakest ones I have are still so substantial, like 18 for Frostbite and 37 for Shock, which means I can barely cast one or two. I made this little fire spell called Firaga that's costs 37 spell points. And I'm trying to get that destruction up because I'm trying to maximize my affiliation with the Mages Guild in order to gain access to some of their different items and abilities. Because the more you get your affiliation up with the Mages Guild, the more you gain access to. Whoa, let's see, what is this? A knight. Okay, that's not going to be too bad. The more you gain access to their various abilities they have, eventually culminating in being able to ooh, Daedric left pauldron, nice. That's sweet. Ooh, Ebony Saber. I am going to save that, definitely. And let's put this on. Oh, yeah. That looks cool. Hold on, let me just move this cloak aside. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Alright, I think actually the Mithril and Ebony look better than the Daedric, but this is really good, plus 21 to armor. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm trying to max out my affinity with the Mages Guild so I can gain access to one of their services, which is making magic items, which allows me to create some I think is going to allow me to create some very useful items with magical abilities to mitigate the fact that I can't really use magic. So what I was doing is I assumed that what I would have to do is just continue to do quests for the Mage Guild, and I did them over and over and over again, and eventually got my affiliation with them up to around 100. It's at 99 reputation now. I think 100 is the maximum that you can get to, 99 or 100. And I kept doing these quests over and over again and thinking, like, well, okay, I mean, how far do I have to go in order to do this? Because it just kept going on and on and on. And eventually I realized that I was doing something wrong and decided to go check the wiki to see what was happening and what I was doing incorrectly. And I discovered that you have to, in order to access these abilities and get promotions in the Mages Guild, upgrade your affiliation, your affinity with them, but you also need to upgrade your magic skills. This was a big joke back in the days of Oblivion, because you could have no magical ability whatsoever and never cast any spells. And yet, let's see if I can backstab this guy. He is an ancient lich. I'm gonna save right here. And yet, he saw me. And yet, you could still in Oblivion become the head of the Mages Guild, despite the fact that you had no magical ability, and they actually changed that a little bit in Skyrim. Although even in Skyrim, you still needed precious little magical ability compared to this game where they actually check your skills to ensure that you are a proper mage before ranking you up in the guild. And you need to be fairly high level with one, I don't think it matters which one, but one of any of the magical abilities that they have here. You need to have They listed all on the wiki a certain percent per rank, and what I'm trying to get to is the rank where I believe I need to be 55% destruction magic here, and that's going to take a long time because I can't actually use the trainer at the Magic Guild anymore because they said I know more than he does. So we're at equal rank, which happens in, I think, all of the games, that you only have special trainers that have different abilities. But in Oblivion and Skyrim, you could find trainers that had even greater ability. You know, you would have one that could train you up to expert, master, and so on and so forth level. I don't know if this game has more of these levels, if I can find another trainer outside of the Mages Guild that has better abilities or not. Maybe, you know, you can just get to a certain point and that's it. You're no longer allowed to train. I'm not sure. But I'm going to try at least to use... I've already been this way. To get my destruction ability up a little bit, if I can. Okay. It's going to go down here. And eventually I think I'm going to go to the, I think, the Dragontail Mountains. Is that where Orsinium is? And continue on with the main quest. That's the next quest I have here as part of the main story with Lysandus, to go to Gortwog, Lord of the Orcs, and see if I can get something that he apparently... I think he might have stolen something that we can use to soothe Lysandus's soul, I hope. I currently have quite a bit of money, actually, in the game, because you can eventually just get hundreds of thousands of gold pieces, and I'm only level 15, and I already have, I think, in my wagon something like... How much gold do I have? 25,948. I think that's just what I have on me right now. No, I have 10,000 on me, but I think in my wagon I have, like, over 100,000 gold pieces. Uh-oh. There's a bunch of people in this room. I attempted a quest off-camera for the Mages Guild, or the Temple of Kinnerath, I don't remember. And tragically, I discovered that I was unable to complete it because I found myself in that same old situation. I don't know if that is going to help get my destruction ability up at all. I mean, I hope it will, but if it doesn't, whatever. I found myself during this quest in a hopeless situation because I'd been in this particular dungeon. Whoa! That is a mage glitched into here, and I don't think I can reach her. Okay, that's not good. And I was in this hopeless situation because the only way to proceed was through a magically locked door, which I had no way of entering. And so I just kept, you know, trying to look around to find a switch or something, and I just couldn't find... Oh, I can't loot this mage. Can I? Nope. I cannot. And... you know, I just kept wandering around trying to find, you know, what I was looking for here. And I just couldn't. I could not find a way to open this door. It seemed basically impossible, and I just had to leave. There was really nothing that I could do about this. I know this Dwarven Warhammer is probably worth more, but it gets to a point where I just want to gather gold, not get the items and so forth. I don't know... Did I close that door? Well, whatever. I wish they could kind of affect the world around you and, like, close doors in order to, like, make resting a little bit easier, but I don't think it has any effect. This is just sort of like a bit of roleplay that I'm doing here to try to pretend that I'm trying to hide successfully from monsters here. You can actually, in character creation, get regenerating health. And that's really... I'm trying to posit here what my fantasy of an Elder Scrolls game would be, and all of the dungeons and the style and where in Tamriel it would take place aside, putting all that to the side, the number one thing that I want to see that I would think would make Daggerfall sort of come back to life, be resurrected in a new Elder Scrolls game, is a complexity screen. And what I mean by that is, I don't think that there should necessarily be a difficulty screen in these games. I mean, maybe if you want one, that's fine, whatever. I'm not going to begrudge you having an easy, medium, hard, whatever difficulty. But I think most importantly, you should have a complexity screen. Oop, miracles do happen. I opened that lock. And what the complexity screen would be is essentially, what is this? Oh, just a mage. Is essentially, and another mage, is basically something like in the video game Dungeon Hack. And what Dungeon Hack, whoa, more mages. And what Dungeon Hack was a really good dungeon crawler back from the early 1990s. And the opening to Dungeon Hack allowed you to pick and choose on a very precise basis all of the different things that were going on in that game. All of the different, you can choose how much, how many undead creatures you were going to find. You can choose how deadly the monsters were, if you were going to encounter certain kinds of traps. All of these things precisely allowed you to tailor your experience. I maxed out everything I can carry. Okay. And precisely tailor your experience to exactly what you wanted and exactly how you wanted to play. And I think that's something that they need to add to Skyrim. Not Skyrim, to the next Elder Scrolls game. You can choose whether you want to be forced to use torches and lanterns in a dungeon, or whether they're automatically lit. You can choose whether or not you want to have to eat food or drink water, and if you have to cook the food first or purify the water, sort of like you did in Fallout. You can choose whether you want things like extreme heat or extreme cold to affect you. You can choose whether you want to have regenerating health. Whether you want the guards to be able to be bribed, or whether you are, or whether they're automatically going to take you to jail. How severe punishments are from these guards. Whether you just get a slap on the wrist even if you do something serious, like you don't want to waste time getting arrested by the guards, or whether being arrested by the guards is a very serious process that takes days and days out of your game. Whether or not you have time limits for quests. You can already do things like turn on and off quest markers, which is absolutely great. You know, that's a good thing that you can turn off the quest marker if you just don't want to have that staring you in the face. Well, you know, and I can find quest markers pretty boring sometimes, although other times, you know, maybe I would want to turn them on because they're kind of useful. Ooh, Mithril Battle Axe. And there's just a host of other things that you can choose about the game, about whether you want it to be, and you should be able to create the game that you want to play, and they should provide the architecture for that, not force you into playing the game in a certain way. You know, you could say that we should have the game begin like, ooh, I might want to take that with me, and yeah, okay. And, you know, you can choose, you know, you can say that the start of the game, you know, for your average player who's not going to care about this, they're not going to be forced to go through that screen and make all these complicated choices. They're not going to have to do that, which I think may be a kind of a concern for the business-minded people, that they don't want, you know, the average Joe kind of gamer who's not really interested in all this to get upset about. But it should be an option there for people that want a more in-depth experience to play the game that they want to play, and make it as, you know, not... Oh, an Ancient Lich. That's not good. I'm going to use my Unrestrainable Jade, which cures paralysis. That's just one of the type of items that I want to make. I don't know if magic items in this game have a charge to them or not. I feel like they probably do. But I've used this Unrestrainable Jade many times, and, you know, probably dozens of times, especially when fighting vampires and liches, and never found, and it's not gone out yet, and it doesn't list any charges in particular to the Jade, wherever it is. I mean, it does say it has a condition, which I didn't realize, so I might have to repair that, but whatever. I mean, it's not that big a thing. I think I'm going to equip my bow, Daedric Shortbow. This actually, unfortunately, wears down pretty quickly, so I have to get this repaired, and repairing Daedric weaponry is crazy. And I thought about scouring the various blacksmiths around the Iliac Bay to try to discover whether anybody had any better gear than I currently do, like replace some of the dwarven gear I still had with Mithril or better. But I found someone who was carrying Orcish gear, an Orcish helmet, and I swear that it costs 100,000 gold for an orcish helmet. Now, maybe I was mistaken about that, or maybe there was some glitch in the game, but 100,000 gold for a helmet that some drooling orc made in his cave? You gotta be kidding me with that. 100,000 gold? That's completely nuts. By the way, I did level up from last time, so I'm level 15 now. Probably because of all of the time I spent leveling up my destruction ability. With the trainer. I just went to an inn and rented a room for like a month and just, went back and forth. I prefer the Daggerfall method of training, where you can only train once per day. And I think because so many quests have a time limit, that makes it a little bit less easy to abuse. Because in Skyrim, what they did in Skyrim was, originally in the first games, you leveled up only based on what your primary and I believe major skills. I don't know if your minor skills did it, but definitely your primary and major skills, and all of the skills that were listed in miscellaneous, they did, they could go up, but they didn't actually do anything towards increasing your level. But they changed that in Skyrim so that anything that you can level up automatically, and any skill that you get an increase in automatically starts increasing your level, which causes the same problem that Fallout 4 had with ridiculous level creep. This idea of increasing the level to the point where instead of being maybe like level 20 when you win the game, being level like 40 or 50 or higher, it's just going to necessarily cause a problem when you're trying to... Ooh, there's a skull here. Well, anyway, it's going to necessarily cause a problem when you're trying to guide the game's difficulty if you can just level up indefinitely. You're going to get yourself into a situation, especially a newbie player, that the Todd Howard and his cronies seem to want to protect and coddle as much as possible. A newbie player could accidentally level themselves up with things that are not relevant to combat and make themselves really weak later on in the game, so they could be pathetically weak when they need to be very strong and not understand why the enemies are getting stronger, and they don't have the ability to fight them because they were leveling up things like alchemy or blacksmith that aren't really necessarily all that relevant. I feel like this is a magic item here. Sometimes things just float in the air for no particular reason, but I think I've seen skulls like this before, and it will do something if we touch it. But let me just quickly check in here and see. Okay, I'm going to touch the skull. Sometimes, by the way, you could just touch random things in the dungeon and they will kill you instantly, which I love. I didn't hear anything. Okay, I guess it's just a random skull floating in nowhere. This can be an especially frustrating part of the game, which I don't necessarily like, that some random pixel, God knows where in the dungeon is what you need to click on in order to open a secret passage. That's really, really... Oh, it's another skull. Oh, okay, that skull actually did something, and it's taken me to a place I've already been to. Okay, not sure where I am now. But, oh, I think I'm actually more near the, Oh, I'm not near the entrance. I definitely am not. Where... Okay, do I want to go... Yeah, I think I want to go down here, I think. Okay, I like the horrible, torturous elements here. A dungeon. I was thinking about, dungeons and video games, and it's just become this sort of buzzword that doesn't actually mean what it really means. A dungeon is the worst place in the world. Worse than a war zone. Maybe a hospital where some sort of horrible plague is ravaging, the community. Might be worse. But to be honest, I think it's probably a dungeon that is the worst place ever. A place where pain is deliberately being met out to innocent people, directed cruelty and violence. And I love the little background things here. You can see little piles of skulls or heads or horrible torture devices sitting around here. Ooh, I did not go in this door. Whoop. I have a Daedric shortbow here, which actually does pretty darn good damage. I don't think arrows in Daggerfall are any different. They changed that in, I think in Morrowind you can get different types of arrows, and you have to worry about the air, not only the bow type but the arrow type as well. You have anything good? I can recover some of the arrows I used on him. I actually have very few arrows right now, and he had nothing important on him. Okay. Did I go down here yet? I did not. Sometimes this may seem like a waste of time just to wander around, but it's good just to get your levels up and also do, like I found that Daedric item. Usually really good items like that are pretty unusual, but they are available here and there. Let's see what's down this way. Oh, nothing really. And okay. It's actually much better, I think, to find... you're more likely to find good stuff off of an enemy than see it just, like, sitting around as treasure. That's another issue that I kind of had with Skyrim, is that I don't think they really handled loot very well, which is a big issue because... uh-oh. A couple people in here. Loot is a major part of any RPG game. You're not adventuring for your health. You're adventuring for a lot of reasons, a lot of complicated reasons, but one of them is just to get things. Even if you're a noble paladin who's selflessly sacrificing himself for others, you're going to need a good sword, you're going to need a good axe, you're going to need a good helmet when you're fighting the forces of evil. You're not just doing this for giggles. There we go. It's another night. And, whoop, there's another one. And you need to, in Skyrim, I didn't like the way treasure was distributed in dungeons. You can wander around and you only get this tiny little sliver of gold off of opponents. You could kill an enemy like a Draugr and get like 20 pieces of gold from his body. That was basically all that you got. And, you may get some crummy gear off of a bandit, and that's basically it. And you may find a small chest at the end and get a couple of little things here and there. And if you added up every single item, every single potion, every single trinket that you picked up throughout the dungeon, you'd probably end up having some okay loot. Like if you actually held it all in your hand at one time, it may seem like a lot of stuff, but it's weirdly weirdly distributed over such a long distance, I guess you could say, like from the beginning to the end of the dungeon. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about here, or if I'm not making myself clear. I'm working through to try to articulate my feelings about this, so you'll have to bear with me, I'm afraid, but I feel you get the loot in sort of nickels and dimes, sort of dribs and drabs, and you don't get that feeling of getting, like, oh no, another Ancient Lich? Of getting, like, a huge amount of stuff, like a huge windfall that you would get, like, at the end of the dungeon, where you would get nothing up till that point, then just get this gigantic pile of gold at the very, very end. And it's kind of frustrating, I think, when I play it, unfortunately, just to get little... Like, you open up these little sarcophagi or those funeral urns in the crypts in Skyrim, and you get, like, nothing. Just... Whoa. And you just get like 2 or 3 gold, but there are like 100 of them. It's sort of meant to keep you addicted, sort of just keep clicking and playing and getting one tiny little bit of gold and one tiny little bit there, instead of waiting until the end and finishing things up like that. And I think this game just does loot so much better, because I was playing through Skyrim recently, and I was playing as an Argonian, using one-handed maces, and sort of like being a little bit of a thief, archer, that kind of a character. And I just had this disastrous time playing the game. Skyrim to me is a beautiful looking game, but that's really it. Like, that's literally where it ends. It looks great, but it has no substance to me whatsoever. Beyond it looking good, I think that overall it's just kind of... is that someplace I haven't been yet? Can't quite tell. But anyway, I think that Skyrim is... the combat, I think, is pretty terrible in Skyrim. I've never really liked the combat in literally any of the Elder Scrolls games. Skyrim is maybe the best. I mean, maybe Daggerfall is the best, to be honest. I mean, it's got pretty good combat. I mean, that's one thing you could say about Daggerfall. But but the Skyrim combat I just found to be horrible, because it seems you need to have a dodge button, like in the Souls games. You need to have the ability to leap out of the way of an enemy. Now, I'm not the best game player in the world, I'll tell you that straight up, but I'm not absolutely horrendously terrible, and I think a lot of the time when I was dying because of the game, not really because of me, because I wasn't playing in a super hard mode either, by the way. I was playing in expert mode, which is, it's not really for experts, expert mode. It's sort of like hard, basically. There are several more levels of difficulty beyond expert. It's not really all that. It shouldn't be considered all that challenging, to be honest. And, I was sitting there playing it, and I just could not, absolutely could not get interested in the combat, because it was so difficult to avoid enemy damage. It was so easy. Oh god, I think I'm going to have to go down and then turn and then go up to get out of here. Jeez, this is complicated. And I needed to be able to leap out of the way and not get hit. Sort of like, it doesn't have to be a roll exactly like it was in the Dark Souls games, but it should at least be something like a sort of a dash like it was in Bloodborne, where you can sort of leap out of the way that you were trying to go and just sort of avoid being smashed with a warhammer or an axe or something like that, because otherwise it is just way too easy to take damage. I think, honestly, the combat on the harder modes in Skyrim, much harder than the combat in the Souls games, because you always have the ability to leap out of the way in the Souls games, and in Skyrim you just can't do that. If someone's coming at you, running is very clunky and doesn't really work that well, and you just have to sit there and get hit. And I also, for the first time, here's the exit, thank goodness. Also, for the first time in this game, I really spent time doing some... Put this away, and put this away, and put that away. I spent quite a bit of time doing some blocking with a shield. I actually leveled up the block ability, and I immediately regretted it, even though I stuck with it throughout the whole game up until like level 30-something, and tried to use blocking as much as possible. It was horrendous. The fact that blocking just does not work in Skyrim. It was referred to by Yahtzee Croshaw as like biscuits and milky tea, the shields in that game, and he's right. They barely are able to block an enemy's attack. They stagger you ridiculously. It's horrible. Everything about it just does not work properly. It is. I'm going to loiter a little while, maybe buy some arrows, and then maybe go get those magic items I got identified at the Mages Guild. But it just does not work correctly. You can't have your block ability leveled up over time. Blocking just does not work like that. It has to work like it does in the Souls games. And I know there's some people that are groaning when I keep mentioning the Dark Souls games. Well, too bad. I'm going to keep mentioning them if they've done things right, and they should be referenced. Just because they're over-referenced again and again beyond where they ever should be does not mean that they can't be referenced. And they should be. You need to be able to block 100% of the damage with your shield right at the beginning, because it's much more useful to use a shield at that stage. You can't just wait until you're like at top level in order to have a shield that actually decently blocks things, because when you get up at that stage, you don't really need the shield when you're like level 35 or something. It becomes irrelevant at that stage, and you just need to be able to sit there, and you're probably much more likely to use a two-handed weapon at that stage. You just don't need to have this shield there. But anyway, it just does not work. Now, I still want there to be a block skill, by the way, in the game. I just want there to be a much more... I think that leveling the block skill up should not increase the amount of damage that you block. It should maybe increase the amount of magic damage that you block, the type of magic damage, how much damage you do hitting an enemy, not having any weight to the shield, perhaps. There are a bunch of other things that you could get to change the block skill into something that is much more useful and retain a more Dark Souls ability to simply block an enemy with a shield. Otherwise, it's just sort of a pointless encumbrance. There's no reason to have it. Let's see, Iron Will, Ice Storm, Jack of Trades. I guess that increases your luck? Is that what that does? None of these seem especially useful. And I think I'm just going to put them back into my wagon. My wagon is actually getting... oh, wait a minute. Remove... what else do I have here? Did I put something on that I should not have? I feel like I accidentally equipped something when I shouldn't have. Let me just take a look here. Well, whatever. I guess it's probably not that important. But anyway, the whole thing needs to be changed with blocking in Skyrim. The entire combat. Yes, something must have been put on. I must have used something because I have this effect on right now, and I don't know where that is coming from. Oh, Short Tunic of Good Luck. I'll remove that. There we go. That's it. It must just increase my luck by a little bit. Okay, but everything about combat in the 6th Elder Scrolls game needs to change. They just need to scrap everything that they've done in Skyrim and replace it from the ground up. They can't even, like, modify the crap in Skyrim because it is horrendous. I can sometimes, even when I'm getting bored with a Souls game, just go back to it for the combat. And the new Elder Scrolls game is going to have a ton of competition. You know, back in 2011, when Skyrim was being released, they didn't have nearly enough, the same amount of competition they have nowadays, which with the Witcher series, with the Souls games, with Neo, they're going to have to really step their game up. And I don't mean, but, you know, because it's Todd Howard, he's probably just going to make a few pathetic little shifts here and there that don't actually address any of the problems, change things in a really minor way, and it's just going to be dreadful. These guys have no arrows at all? Ooh, Daedric Helm. Let me see how much this is, and let me show you this. Yeah, 176,000 for a Daedric Helm. Why was that guy who was carrying Daedric left pauldron, why was he wandering around a dungeon? He could have had a mansion with this. I mean, jeez. This guy was like one of the wealthiest people in the game if he had a Daedric anything. Okay. But where do we need to go to continue this main quest? A Lord of the Orcs in Orsinium to tell me where it is. Where is Orsinium? Wayrest. Orsinium area. And let's see where... There's a bunch of stuff here. This is Retry. Coppersmith Range. Where is... I wonder where he is. Maneva, Rothgarian Mountains. Medora came to me in a vision and told me that Lysandras' ghost can be soothed if I can convince Gortwog, Lord of the Orcs in Orsinium, to tell me where it is. Is there a town called Orsinium? Yes, there is. Let us try there. Cautiously. I don't think there's a time limit to this. I hope not. But let's see what's going on. Is Gortwog, was that an orcish sigil? Orcs have trampled the ground here. Now, is this like an orc town? I can't get any info on this. What is this? It's made of metal. I'm gonna make an official save here just to see what's going on. I mean, is this like a court of orcs? Because I thought that... Oh, there are orcs in here. Are they hostile orcs? No, I see an orc. Is an orc warlord? Oh, no. No, they're attacking me, I think. Right? Are you attacking me? Yes, you are. Okay. Are you attacking me? Hello? Sir? Sir? I'm going to leave him there for now. Gortwog? Which one? Ooh, that's got to be Gortwog. Look at this guy. Hi there. So, Medora wants the dust of restful death. Only because I respect the memory of King Lysandus will I do this. The dust can be found in ruins of Masterford's guard, on her own island. Tell Medora that the price is her support of my claim to the heart. She'll know what it means. Oh, crap. Come on. I'm here to talk to your guy here. Don't attack me. Prick, come here. I don't know if I'm supposed to be killing these guys or not. I mean, I guess so. I mean, they were attacking me. Have anything? No. I don't have anything on them. So do we have to go get the dust, or do we have to go tell Medora about... I've spoken with Gortwog. He claims that the dust of restful death can be found in ruins of Masterford's guard down at Belfiera. He also instructed me to tell Medora that she must support his claim to the heart of Tiber Septim, whatever that is. Is Gortwog in love with the Emperor? And he wants... This is a love story now. Whoa! Gee, whoa, okay. I'm getting out of here. Okay. Gortwog apparently is deeply in love with Tiber Septim and wants his heart, which, I think that's so sweet that they've turned this into a love story. Let's see, Masterford's Guard. Ruins of Masterford's Guard. Yes, I do. Cautiously. Recklessly means that you end up there at nighttime, usually. So if you're playing as a vampire, that's something that you would want to do. But it also means that shops are closed, it's difficult to see. A lot of problems with there. Where is the entrance? Ooh, there it is. I think. No? Yes, this is the entrance. Okay, there's already a zombie coming at me. I don't know if I was supposed to go to Medora first, or if I was supposed to do this first. So I'm just going to do this first and explore this dungeon and see what I can find here. This dungeon is very different from any of the other dungeons I've come across because it's one of the main quest dungeons. It was officially designed by the game designer, so it looks... it doesn't have the randomly generated quality that the other ones do. I hope... I assume this is also a very large dungeon. So it's going to be pretty hard to find my way out of it. Oh, ghost. Ghosts, correct. Oh, they can be difficult because of that, because they can paralyze you, but thankfully I have my Jade. That means that I will not be paralyzed. I believe, yeah, look at my mana bar. They also sap your mana, apparently, when they attack you, which sucks, because I wanted to use a regeneration potion there, but I think because I don't have a time limit here, I can just rest whenever I darn well feel like it. Whoop. Okay. Another thing that they could add to a hypothetical Elder Scrolls game is the ability to choose how dangerous and effective things like poison and paralyze are. You know, you could choose to make it an extreme danger. This lock is an insult to my abilities. Or you could make it just a bagatelle that you can... Oh, a rat! I haven't seen one of these in a while. That you can just overcome immediately. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go down here. And there's a specter, or wraith. And these guys hit harder than the ghosts, but the ghosts paralyze, so they're worse. And I'm going to click on all the walls just in case. I have a couple of healing potions, but potions of healing are much less of a relevant issue in... there are enemies nearby, can't rest. In Daggerfall than they were... In the other games, where I think it's practically necessary to have healing potions, especially if you're playing on a harder difficulty level. Okay, I may want to come back to the water when I have a more mana, so I can cast a water-breathing spell. Now, for some reason or another, I actually have been in a dungeon like this, I realize now, because I recognize that area over there. For some reason, that little secret area is trapped, and if you step on the floor over there, it instantly kills you. And I don't think that that is a glitch. I think that was supposed to be part of the game, because I've seen other people deal with that. I have almost no health right now. Okay. Hope I can kill these zombies. These are tough zombies. I like that these zombies are tough. They're not like pathetic walking jokes like they are in most media nowadays, where they can just be killed so easily. You know, they're like the stereotypical basic enemy, even more so than a rat probably nowadays. For most people to just kill. I mean, they have children killing them on The Walking Dead, so they're not all that dangerous. Dead, okay. Going to have to find a way to save. I mean, not to save, to rest. Oh, there we go, I got lucky. And there we go. Nice. I have a feeling we're going to have to go into that water down below, but I'm going to explore the rest of the area first. Now, I'm looking for dust, right? Oh, God. Looking for these things like dust or blood or something are very difficult because they're so easy to miss on the floor. I don't know if lockpicking is really a very useful skill because your ability to bash things down, but I went for it anyway just for sort of role-playing reasons to make myself a little bit of an outlaw. Anything in here? Oh. That paralysis is so deadly that it's just an instant death. Can I sneak up on a ghost? Can it be done? I think it can be. Nope. He found me. He saw me. Dead. There we go. What is my critical strike ability? Critical strike is actually 61%, and I think if it's outlined in blue there like it was for a second, it actually means it might be going up soon. I think that's what it means. And anything in here? No, there is not. It's frustrating that there are so many different places that the thing you're looking for can be, because it really could be almost anywhere. And I think, well, not almost anywhere. There are certain set places where it may show up. Do I want to go in the water? No, I'm going to keep going around up here for now. It's so nice to be able to quick save, which is so helpful in this game. And the game is not oh no. I am not dead for some reason. You know, maybe we're going in the water anyway. Who knows? You know, I mean, whoops. That was not the game. That was me. I just straight up walked off a cliff. Good job there. Good job. Good job there, Mike. Okay, well, we had to explore the water at some point anyway, right? Now, I have not been seeing droogs down here anymore. I've been seeing lamias, and I don't really know their powers. I know... Whoop, that's... Oh, there are some... Those are lamias? Yeah. I know they have the power of major boobage. These pixelated boobies, they are apparently swimming around naked, which makes sense, because, like, an aquatic creature probably wouldn't be, you know, have clothing on. Come on. Come here. I don't think YouTube cares about super pixelated boobies, by the way, as far as I know. Try to go down. Oh, wait a minute. There's something here. I'm actually going to not cast my healing spell and just go back to the surface right here. What is my swimming skill, actually? Let me take a look at that. Swimming is 17%, and it says it's based on endurance. Uh-oh. More booby fish. Come on. Come here. Hey. Come back. Hey. Hey. Come back here. Oh, you know what they should add? You should be able to come in like an aquatic werebeast and turn into like a fish person. Lamia, that term is actually the name of an evil spirit from Roman mythology, I think. I don't know where they... I don't remember if they were water-based or not. I know that in Dungeons & Dragons they were sort of like a lion, or like a centaur lion with a beautiful woman's torso, and then a lion's hindquarters. They were also topless, by the way, in the Monstrous Manual. So toplessness is apparently a major part of the Lamia's abilities. I mean, it certainly was distracting me. Okay, let's go. Come on. Come on. Because my item burden is actually fairly low, I can actually... Ooh. Uh-oh. I swear I had some sort of amulet there. Torquer the Protector. Can I equip that? Yeah, I'll equip that. Okay. I don't think I've ever really used that shield ability. I should try it, see if it does anything. But anyway, Lamias, I don't know, I think they were more like evil spirits or something, and they kind of changed them here. But I don't know where they got the water thing from. Let's go around. I wonder how it calculates how much breath you have underwater, because I feel like... Ooh, ancient vampire. Uh-oh. Okay, I feel like I originally did not have as much time underwater as I did there, and it really changed, perhaps with my endurance or something. Or maybe it just changes with your level. I'm going to use my regeneration ability here to get a little bit of health back. I still cannot really cast a competent cure spell of any kind because it's just going to do so little health increase, it's not even worth casting. Okay, rat. Don't know why I'm seeing rats again all of a sudden. Kind of weak sauce creatures in here to be fighting at this level. Okay, I actually don't know what the level maximum is in Daggerfall. I mean, I'm a believer that there should be maximum levels. Oh boy, I'm back here again. Okay. There should be maximum levels in games. I don't think you should just be able to infinitely level, because it makes sense that there's a certain finite amount of power or energy that you can push into a human, into a mortal body without becoming some sort of demigod or another creature. I don't think you should just be able to level endlessly like you could, unfortunately, in Fallout 4. Oh, I hope this was... I feel like this is the dungeon that I was in before, where I could not find what the heck I was looking for. I feel like this is... Oh... Like I'm going to come across the door that cannot be opened and then just have no idea what to do. But I will look on the wiki, I think, because I assume, because that was a random dungeon, I couldn't look it up to figure out what to do. But I can look up what to do about this dungeon and see if there's a specific... Ooh, there's another rat in here I didn't even notice. If there's another... there's a particular switch I need to press or something somewhere in order to open up that door, which I assume that there is. Which way did I come from? Okay, I came from that way. Let's go down here. What is this little half door? This little saloon door? That doesn't make any sense. And super happy fun slide. And a ghost. Whoop. Put my weapon away. That was not good. There we go. And there we are. Oh, just another little thing I wanted to mention about blocking in Skyrim. It actually says, for some reason or another, that blocking is harder to do with a two-handed weapon than a one-handed weapon. Why is it harder to block with that giant two-handed sword, which is obviously much bigger than the teensy-weensy little dagger that I might have, or mace? Why? What is the point of that? And furthermore, it feels in Skyrim like all of the weapons are basically the same weapon. None of them have any significant difference in their feel or function to me. I use one weapon and it's basically the same as others. You just slam on the keys over and over again. It feels absolutely the same as anything else. It is paralyzed. I still have my jade. Good. Okay. Ooh, a lot of ghosts. And there's something in a cage over there. It is a mummy. Can I hurt this mummy in the cage or not? No? Come on. Come a little closer. Can I hurt you? I hope this is not part of the quest I need to do to find this dust. And, I mean, God, I could have passed the dust already. I mean, it could be anywhere. It's obviously so tiny that it's almost impossible to see. So, I mean, it could be anywhere in this stinking dungeon. Whoa! Okay, I think I just glitched through the wall here. That was it. Okay, never mind. Let us hope that we can just waltz upon what we're looking for without too much trouble. So where are we going? Did I... Okay, let us go down this way. And it could be a secret door. You know, it could be a secret door that I'm just missing. There's a lot of long, suspiciously empty bits of wall around here that I'm just checking out, just to make sure I'm doing okay. I'm so happy I have a Daedric item there. In Skyrim, I was saying before, it just becomes... It gets to a point where I think you max out on the equipment that you can get way too fast. You know, even if you're not actually working to... What is it, a zombie? No, it's a zombie. To get your smithing skill up. And good luck, make sure you do that, because if you don't, that means you're not going to get dragon bone or dragon scale weapons or armor, I think, ever. I don't know if you can ever actually find it. Or maybe if you do start finding it, you're at such a fantastically high level that it becomes pointless. There's no reason for you to find it. Oh. Oof, I was up here already. Okay, I was not this way, though. And, you know, you get to just such a massively high... I mean, I've never actually found that stuff on the ground, maybe because I just gave up the game too early, and you just find it when you're, like, level 50 or 100 or something. If I passed this dust at some point and just forgot it, I'm going to be so mad. I can't... This is so complicated and confusing to find this stuff. It is... I mean, it's madness running around these dungeons. But okay, let us head down this way. And maybe we can get back to that central area somehow. Maybe. Possibly. And then maybe that can... Maybe the water area is the answer. Maybe that's where we need to go. Do we head down this way at some point? Yes, we did. It is so hard to orient yourself. I feel like if you were doing this, like if you actually were here in this dungeon, I think I'm going to go out this way. It may... Wait, did I go up that... Did I go up this way? Yeah, I think I did. Okay. I think if you were with a group of people, like actually trying to orient yourself in this dungeon, it might be fun. But trying to do it alone, it's just, you know, you would have to be... I think there's another way down over there. You'd have to be the most spatially aware person on Earth to be able to get this correctly. Like, you would... I can't imagine someone actually doing this in... and just being calm and comfortable with these dungeons. They are so... Whoa, whoa. Booby fish. Booby fish. Die, booby fish. Okay. There we go. And it's just so punishingly confusing trying to find where you're going. There is actually a mod for this. Oh, are you kidding me? It just leads back over here. Oh, for God's sake. Are you kidding me? Okay. Where do I want to go? I think there might be a switch that I forgot to pull up there, possibly, that I'm remembering. Yeah, there's a switch there. But what does that switch actually do, if anything? And is this at the... Yep, this is actually the entrance of the dungeon. Did that do something? God, I don't know. I don't know if it did anything. Let's... yes, I will access my wagon and put that and my gold into there. And that. Alright, let's head back here. So we've been in here for a while, and we've made, sadly, very little progress in this dungeon, because it is just so frighteningly complicated. Why don't we just... Hold on. Why don't we just try to climb up this wall? This dungeon has got me climbing walls. That's how confusing it is as a dungeon. Okay, so anyway, in Skyrim, it just became, for me anyway, I reached this area very early on where I was just able to craft fairly powerful weaponry, and it just became kind of boring. I wasn't looking forward, like I am many hours into this game, to find even more Daedric gear, because you can just buy it or make it in Skyrim. And it just, I think it works a little bit better in this game. Especially with magic gear, which I feel like another problem with Skyrim is that they seem to have kind of designed it with magic weaponry in mind. You know, each... Whoa! Oh, crap! Oh, that's right! My stamina ran out and I passed out of exhaustion because apparently I hadn't been keeping track of my stamina bar here, which is almost 0. Really? Was it that low? I had no idea it was that low. You know, I bet these ghosts might have drained my stamina. I mean, I haven't really been playing for terribly long in this dungeon. I mean, I was running around. Oh, an ancient vampire. Good. That's just what I needed. Don't fall into that water, ancient vampire. I'm not hunting you down in the water. Come on. Here we go. Okay, there we go. These vampire ancients, by the way, can turn you into a vampire, so it can be a dangerous process. Can I just go across this way to get there? I'm going to have to check the the water down here to see if there's anything there, but I think I can climb up on this. I don't think this room was anything. It was just this tiny little room with a zombie in it. Yeah. Ooh, and I backstabbed him. Yeah, there's nothing. These rooms, I think, with the green on it, I don't think they contain any sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? Hidden doors, as far as I remember. Let's just see if there's anything down here in the murky depths of this side. If this pile of dust is underwater, I'm going to be very mad, because I just don't want that to be the case. Don't really see anything. Another booby fish? Come here. Okay. And... yep. I think this is just back up to where I was before. Where I initially came down into the water. Just walked down. Thankfully, I hadn't had to use my water-breathing spell just yet. Oh, maybe I wasn't here. Oh, yeah. Alright. Back to the entrance. I'm back at the entrance. Again. Back at that old entrance. Okay. Alright. And this... take me up to the... let me just show you this here, just in case you wanted to see this. If I can jump over here. Yeah, instant death. I believe that is not a glitch. I think that is actually what is supposed to happen there. Do I have my levitation spell? I don't. Just checking to see if there's any dust here. Probably not. Any dust. Come here. Come here, zombie. I don't know if the floor in this room is acid or lava. It's like when you're a little kid and the floor is lava. I hope that is not where I need to go and what I need to do. I truly hope not. Can I make it over there? Have I been over there? Feel like I have. But, yeah, I must have been over there at some point. I think. I'll just quickly take a look there. Because, yeah, I was over there. Okay. So I think I'm going to go back into this area of the dungeon, because there must be a place that I just haven't gone down around here. Somewhere or another. Yep, there's actually a door there I see that I haven't gone. I have not gone straight down this way and seen what is down here. You know, maybe I was just running too much, because I'm noticing my stamina is going down already. Really paralyzed? Oh no, it was a ghost. I thought the zombie paralyzed me for a second there. Alrighty, where is this holy tomb? I'm getting so sick of carrying around those reagents, I'm not even bothering with it anymore. It's just, there's so many of them. And what is in here? Was I this way? I was definitely not this way. And what is here? Nothing. Oh, whoa. Goose egg. Nothing in here. Except a ghost. Alright, was I up this way? No, I was not. Definitely was not. Okay. This is what these dungeons are like. And, you know, having played recently through a bunch of Skyrim dungeons, I am more than happy to become completely confused and befuddled and lost in these dungeons because of the straight, narrow lines and corridors that make up most, not all, but most of Skyrim's dungeons. Thankfully, there are not incredibly boring missions in Daggerfall like there are in Skyrim, like the infiltrating the Aldmeri, whatever it is, mission. You know, there's a lot of crap that you have to do that's really boring. Ooh, another Daedric shortbow. What is this zombie doing with a Daedric shortbow? But that mission, in order to continue the main plot of Skyrim, I just find punishingly dull. Ooh, wait a minute, I did open up something. Here we go. But was I here? I believe that I was here. I just did not Or was... Oh, yeah, this must just be around the other side, because I came in around here, and I originally... Yeah, okay. And, yeah, so in order to play the game, you really need, at a certain point, to get Dragon Rend, which is a spell that allows you to cause dragons to fall to the earth. And if you don't have that spell, things become much more... Wow, that was a real harsh hit from that Wraith. I'm wearing partially Daedric and partially Ebony armor, and that guy really hit me. But anyway, you really need that that Dragon Rend ability to bring the dragons down to the earth. If you don't have that, it becomes much more confusing and difficult to fight those dragons. But that's a whole other discussion, to fight those horribly unfun and stupid dragon fights in Skyrim. You know, this game that is predicated on fighting dragons being such a major and important ability, and you're just totally unable, basically, to have... At least I was unable to have fun fighting these dragons. They just ended up being boring slog fest, you know. Whenever I saw a dragon arrive, I wasn't like, oh no, a dragon is here, I must fight it. I felt, ugh, another one of these stupid things. I fought them like 50 times before. They're all the same fight. You just hack away at their wings or shoot arrows at them. It's... Anyway, I'm talking too much about Skyrim, not about Daggerfall. Is this where the secret door is? Oh no, I think I know what that is. This is the magically sealed... Yep. Oh no, no it is not. Oh. Okay. This is where the magically sealed dungeon lock was before, but I guess not this time. I like this weird torture implement here. You know, that's what a dungeon should be. It should be a place of absolute utmost horror and unpleasantness. Okay, I mean, I really thought that was going to be the magically locked door, but I'm not kind of at a loss of where to go now. There must be a place that I haven't been. It's so hard to figure out where you need to go, unless there's a place in the water I need to go, which is possible. Whoa, come on. I hate that they sap my mana like that. That sucks. Was I... Hold on. Let's just check here. See if there's any areas. And this is a big part of the game, by the way. Just checking to see if there are areas somewhere off in the dungeon where it looks like you have not been. This kind of looks like maybe a place I haven't been, but maybe that's just a... That's probably just a blank wall over there. And... Where... Oh, that's under the water. It actually makes a little map of the stuff under the water, too, without that being there. That was the secret door. That was the place I went to. This leads just to the secret door. I don't see any other doors under the water, unless this is a platform, I think, sticking up there. I don't think that's anything else. We checked the secret Flora's acid room over here. So where is there left to check out? Maybe I actually need to go to speak to Medora first. That's entirely possible, and I just wasted my time doing this. But that's part of this game, is just, you know, you really go in naked. I mean, maybe they could have given me a little bit more to go on, just a wee bit more than I have here. I mean, that would have been nice. You know, there's always a porridge is too hot, porridge is too cold thing with game complexity. It's never exactly right for you, which is why we need that complexity screen. And in a way, you have a complexity screen in Daggerfall with your character creation, which can be very confusing, or which can be very how should I put it? And not exactly easy, but you can make the game, I guess, a little simpler than it otherwise could be by giving yourself regenerating health and giving yourself all these perks and benefits. It does make it harder to level up, but if you have all these benefits, that's scarcely going to be a problem. Is this an area? This is just a... Yeah, this is just a dead end. Okay. I thought it was just going to be a dead end. Is there something down here I didn't notice? You know, I'm beginning to suspect that we did indeed need to go to talk to Medora first, which means that we need to go into Direni Tower again. So I am going to take a quick look on the Elder Scrolls. Wait, is this a place we haven't been? No, I think we've been there. I'm going to take a quick look on the Elder Scrolls wiki and just see what it says we have to do there. Okay, I'm officially losing my patience with Daggerfall. I went to the wiki and looked something up. I discovered that the dust that I am looking for is supposed to be on the body of a mummy. Now, you saw me pass right through this room, try to kill this mummy, and then realize it was in a cage and that I couldn't get it. I assumed that this is not supposed to be in a cage and that it was just randomly in the cage, and that it would have saved me many, many minutes of searching for something, if this is indeed the mummy, which we're going to find out in a minute. So, drum roll, please. That has to be it. Yep, there it is. So, yeah, that annoys the crap out of me, that I needed to go and do this nonsense. I can't believe this. I can't believe the thing that I needed was in the middle of a cage and quite unreachable to my melee weapons as far as I could tell, and so I just decided to leave it alone, and if I had just killed this guy and looted his body, everything would have been alright. Everything would have been okay. We all would have... That's just one of the things you gotta deal with playing this game. But let's see what Gortwog had to say in his message. Parchment. Worrell. Ernest P. Worrell? Letter Empire and win respect from my people, Gortwog. That's all it says is Worrell? That's strange. So Gortwog is apparently trying to win some sort of respect for the Orcish race, I guess. I mean, maybe this is interesting. That kind of explains how the Orcs go from these, you know, scummy bad guy characters to being, you know, parts of the Empire, in a way. Maybe he truly gets the... I think I went the wrong way. Of course I did. Of course I went the wrong way. If only I hit anchor. If only... so, you know, that could be interesting. It explains how Gortwog sort of led his people to some sort of greater glory and got some respect from the Emperor. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go to talk to Medora Direni in her tower and see what she has to say about it. Oh, thank God, the entrance. And see what she has to say about all this, because I do have to bring the letter... Where's the entrance again? Is it over here? No, I think the entrance is over... there? I think that's it. No! Oh, I'm dead. Good, good, I'm dead. That's fine. That's fine, I don't care. I have the Lich Dust. I don't care if I'm dead. I do not care. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that has to be the entrance. I'm going to climb down this time. A little bit more sensible. Come on. Come on. Climb up to... there we go. Climb up this wall. And... pretty sure the entrance should just be around here. So, yeah, that's kind of annoying. I mean, I was just smack-talking a second ago, the quest marker thing in Skyrim, and if I had a quest marker here, I think everything would have been fine, and it would not have turned out the way that it did. So maybe I'm not entirely wrong about this. Maybe I'm not entirely right. You know, it's somewhere in the middle. And put that away. I'll keep that. And it is time to go talk to Medora. Now, unfortunately, because in this game your dungeons respawn every time you leave, we are going to have to fight our way to Medora Direni. I wonder why her last name is Direni. Because I thought the tower's last name was Direni. Did she take it from the tower? Let's see here. Okay, I think because I've done this so many times, though, I kind of remember how to get there. And I think I can do it pretty quickly. There were a bunch of vampires in here. I don't think I need to... I don't remember if I need to touch that. I may not. Oh, good. Paralyzed. Come on. Just take that guy down. And I think it's this door. And then the secret door. Yeah, this looks like the right way to me. And I have to climb down here. I wonder what she's going to say, because I don't think this is even nearly at the end of the quest. I think there's still quite a bit more quest to do after this point. There should be a vampire back here. Nope, got lucky this time. Oh, there she is. I like how the vampires just sort of like do jazz hands at you instead of attack. It looks kind of silly. Okay, here. And I feel like there may be a faster way to get to where I'm going, but this is just a way that I remember. I've thought about becoming a vampire in, ooh, which way do I go? Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? And, I don't think it's that way, and I accidentally did become a vampire when I was fighting one of those ancient vampires at some point. Oh crap, I don't think this is... Is this the right way? This doesn't look like the right way. Darn it. Which way did I need to go? Ooh, a Khajiit suit. Kind of like that restore power spell there. It looks kind of neat. I don't know if you actually get your, I don't know if you actually get skill level ups based on your homebrew spells, or if that only happens with your official spells. I assume that if you have a homebrew spell that has some sort of class like destruction or restoration, and you should be able to get that that spell back. I am definitely in the wrong place. Okay, I'm going to reload, I think, because I'm totally in the wrong place. I'm just going to go back to Doreni Tower. Yes, I do. Begin. And let us head back there. You can do some horse archery in this game, which is pretty cool, but I don't think being on a horse actually affects the game in any way. Let me actually save here. Must have taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque. And sometimes there's a Daedra wandering around here, by the way. Don't know if I need to touch that, but I did anyway. Ooh, Daedra Seducer. Yeah, she was down there. Recently, I've been playing some dungeons where I've been fighting Fire Daedra, and they are thus far the hardest enemy I've ever come across. They can usually two-shot me, sometimes one-shot me, and they're just completely brutal. And I think they have a ranged attack as well, which makes them really deadly. And I wonder if I can escape this vampire. Is this the way I needed to go? Apparently this is not the way that I needed to go. Oh, I hope the layout of the dungeon hasn't changed. Oh, that would suck if the layout has changed of the dungeon. Really hope that's not the case. I really hope that is not the case, because I remember this section here. But after this point, I thought I went into the secret door and just left. But maybe I was wrong about that. More vampires. The monsters do scale based on your level, so you're not going to run into vampires if you come here really early on. Now, I went this way, and went to this room. Maybe I was supposed to turn right. Oh my god. Maybe I was not supposed to go there, and I was... No, I guess not. Okay. More vampires to kill. I hope this is worth it. I hope that she actually does something based on this quest that I'm giving her. Oh boy. Should I go... I mean, I feel like I should not be going through water here for this this particular quest. But yeah, I think the layout must have changed. I don't remember it looking like this last time. Maybe I just have to... Maybe it's up here and right. Maybe that's it. If I'm really lucky, that might be it. Yep, actually, this is it. Thank goodness. I do know the way to go from here. I guess the layout must have changed a little bit. I thought that I just had to go right there, but I guess not. Okay, we can go down here. I believe there's a vampire in here. And down here should be a ghost. And some levers that we need to hit. Come on. Come on. I think we need to hit this one. And this one, maybe? Caesar's Legion obviously must be involved in this tower. And is there an ancient vampire? There is not. But there's probably a lich or an ancient lich down here. I don't know what the absolute toughest enemy in the game is. It may be the Fire Daedra, because that's the toughest I've run across so far. I don't know if Dark Elves had their resistance to fire this far back. Ooh! Oh, yep, there is a lich here. Crap. Okay. Oh my god, no. Really? Did you have to kill me, lich guy? Did you have to do that? Okay, I saved pretty recently though, so it's not that big a deal. How was she just chilling in that room with a lich? I remember playing one of these dungeons where there were like 25 liches as enemies. You know, this like epically powerful evil monstrosity that should not exist anywhere in the world. Oh, come on! Oh, these liches, come on! You gotta be kidding me. I don't even know if I can rest to get some of my health back because he's right here. Come on, die! No! Right before the end. Right before the end, you do this to me, lich. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, now let's talk to Medora. Hi, Medora. This is indeed the dust of restful death. As for that letter, it was from Gortwog to me, though I never got it. I heard from him later that his orc warriors were slain attempting to ambush the assassins. Gortwog and his orcs are not the villains most people see them as. Most people seem them as? Oh, but there's a lot of spelling errors in this game. Eadwire and the court of Wayrest have never been particularly loyal to the Empire. To assassinate a king is treason. I will have my revenge, but first I must find out why Eadwire would risk this. I will need a month to prepare the dust. Come back to me at that time and I will give it to you along with instructions for its use. Okay, so we finally, at long last, have made some progress with the main story of this campaign. I believe I have given the dust and the letter to Medora, and we will need to come back in 1 month's time. Visit her again at Roman Durrani Tower. Until then, I'm going to leave a link to some other videos that here, playthrough of Neverwinter Nights, the Saga of Aelin that I am doing, and the first video in this series, so make sure to catch that if you haven't. Please leave a like if you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more Let's Plays, more reviews of old video games, and movies and television shows I like. And please tell me what you think of Daggerfall, as always, in the comments, so I know that other people like this game and want to play this game, and there's some enthusiasm for it. Supposedly, Julian Jensen, the creator of Daggerfall, is making some sort of secret project that is going to be maybe, hopefully, a sort of a modern successor to Daggerfall, so tell me if you've heard anything about that. And, yeah, thank you very much and have a good night.